So then we go to the Saints and Packers game, and this game, you look at the box score, you think, wow, what a tough, gritty game for the Packers. They, edged it out, but really it was that comeback in the fourth quarter. We saw Derek Carr go down. Looks like he's going to miss some time. Unfortunately, you hate to see it because he was playing pretty well, but we're feeling things out with this Packers team. I still don't really know what we have with this Packers team. What I can see right now is that they have a good defense that can make some stops when it matters, and they did that with the Saints. Held them to 17. For their offense, Jordan Love, probably the worst game we've seen him this season. He had a great first 2 weeks, but now he's facing a really tough defense in the Saints, and he missed a lot of throws. They definitely gave him a lot of pressure, but I give them credit for coming back and, piecing that together in the fourth quarter. They came back from 17 down and winning that game. Credit to Matt LaFleur. He had some great play calls in this game, and going for two when they scored that touchdown was huge for them. I think that was a big momentum shift. So, credit to the Packers for that tough, gritty win, but I still don't know what I have with either of these teams, and it's hard to put a finger on them.
Yeah, with this game, it was really just the Derek Carr injury. If Derek Carr doesn't go down, the Packers are going to be 1-2 at this point in the season. And I felt like that really took the wind out of it, because 3 possessions in the NFL when you have a solid defense and someone like Jameis Winston has to get thrown in and your backups there, like, okay, 3 and out, you get the ball back. And then your team sees an opportunity and then jumps on it. So credit to the Packers to being able to seize the opportunity, being able to see Derek Carr go out, kind of see some of the wind being knocked out of the Saints' sails and take advantage of that. However, really do think it comes down to that Derek Carr injury, because before that, they were able to move the ball. The defense was a lot better, and just those extra possessions to keep it away from the Packers. I really think it does come down to that injury. And with Jordan Love, dude was missing throws. It's like, I'm not really impressed that you got 18 points at home, because your defense has played well on the road. This is a team that's supposed to dominate at home. They almost lost their first home opener in Lambeau since I think like the 90s, right?
Yeah, it goes back, I think, before the Brett Favre era, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so with Jordan Love's performance in that game, I get the Saints have a tough defense, but this is a moment where I'm like, okay, how are you going to be playing in November and December in Green Bay? Because I think that's going to be a really tough environment for him to play in. And if we're going up against the Lions, like for the division at the end of the year, I would still have to go with the Lions, because they've shown more at the end of the season. I believe in Jared Goff throwing in Lambeau, where he was able to beat Aaron Rodgers last year. I just don't think Jordan Love is going to be the answer. Like, this was the game where I was like, okay, you're missing too many open guys. You're missing too many throws in this game. And I get you came back and won the game. However, you shouldn't have really been in this position. And I thought they had some chances earlier in the game that he just missed.
Yeah. And this team, they kind of remind me of, and it's going to sound like I'm insulting them this game, but it's not. They kind of remind me a little bit of the Giants of last year, where they win a lot of close possessions. You have a good head coach, a quarterback that is kind of unproven, and weapons that are not necessarily bad, but they could, we haven't seen Christian Watson implemented. Aaron Jones was out in this game, and they relied on Romeo Doubs, who has stepped up and played a great he's played great for them since they drafted him last year. Really been able to be that big physical receiver for him. So I'd like to see them bounce back, but they're also a few plays away from being 0-3. So they've had a lot of close games. Credit to them. I give them credit for coming back. But I still, like I said, I just don't know what I know. I don't know what the Packers are.
Yeah, I don't know what the Packers are. And I think when Aaron Jones comes back, that'll definitely help. But at the same time, he is an older running back. So the fact that he did pop his hamstring in that game and was out, that's not an injury that's easy to rehab during the season. So I think with the Packers this year, it's going to be a lot in Jordan Love's hands. And I like what I've seen from Luke Musgrave, the rookie tight end. I think he's played very well. And there are just some plays where Jordan Love flat out missed him. Yeah. Like, there are some plays where he split the defenders. He was getting downfield and it was open, and Jordan Love was missing him. I get, like, it's the NFL. Sometimes that happens, but there are just some routine throws where Jordan Love was like, you got to hit that, man.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, this is the NFL. You sat behind Aaron Rodgers. You're supposed to be coming in as a polished quarterback. I get that it is tougher, like in the game, than it is in practice, but these are just open guys that you're missing in this game. And for the Saints, it's like with Derek Carr going down, that's going to be a huge loss. That's like the difference between being able to comfortably beat a division rival that you face next week in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or potentially losing to them because Jameis turns the ball over. And I
Hmm.
felt like it was going to be a tough matchup with or without Derek Carr. And we'll get to the Bucks later, but their defense was pretty impressive versus the Eagles in that first half. They were really able to slow them down. The run game definitely was a challenge there, and the Saints don't have a good run game, and that was really where the Bucks were stuttering on defense was against D Swift. And there are a lot of holes opened up, and I think that was just a testament to the Eagles' offensive line. But it's like, okay, without Derek Carr, this division is still up for grabs between the Falcons, Bucks, and Saints.
Yeah, and good news for the Saints though. Elvin Kamara does come back next week, so
Mm.
I don't expect him to be himself right away. Missing that time, I think he's gonna ease himself in. However, I do think that you know, depending on how long Derek Carr is out, that is a massive blow for a team that took that big swing, signed that quarterback, and Derek Carr. How will they recover?